My mother-in-law bragged that she named my daughter. She nearly choked on her own words when I shut her down in front of the entire family. I've been married to my husband for almost 2 years, and our daughter is 11 months old. When we found out we were having a girl, one of the names that was immediately a top contender was the name of a character I really like in a very popular book movie franchise. My husband is a huge fan of the franchise too, and with time, that name just became the only one that I wanted, and we landed on it, and then told our parents about it. I remember my mother-in-law questioning whether phonetically there would be an alternative spelling that could cause confusion, and I had said no, it wouldn't, and had explained to her the subtle difference in pronunciation, and it was a whole conversation I'd had with her. Last weekend, we were at my in-laws' place for dinner. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law were there too. So we were watching my daughter cruising along the room, using the couches as support, and looking at us to see if we were looking, and then laughing. My brother-in-law's wife had remarked how radiant she looked, and how she'd really taken to her name literally. My sister-in-law then said that it was a really good choice by my mother-in-law. I was confused. I asked what she was talking about, and my sister-in-law said that my mother-in-law had been the one to recommend the name, right? My mother-in-law then said, yeah, that she'd said it's a good name. I was literally stunned for a second and then made it clear that I'd come up with the name, how I'd known of it, and that my husband also knew of that character, and that we were dead set on the name. There were no recommendations to be had. I asked my husband to corroborate the story, which he did, uncomfortably. My mother-in-law said names are a collective family effort, and everyone pitched in, but I still said this name was very dear to me, and it was one I'd come up with. When we came home and were in bed, my husband had been getting texts from his mom and sister. He said I was right in my account of what had happened, but he also told me I'd been tactless, that we know it was my name, and our daughter has a beautiful name that suits her, so why make it into something that causes bitterness? And today he had a phone call with his mom, just a regular one. I asked if she was still pissed, and he said she was. He said that he understood why I did it, but it wasn't the time and place. Was I a TA? Update. First, I do want to clarify that my husband never said I was an a-hole. He said he agreed with the facts that our daughter's name had nothing to do with mother-in-law, just the timing of it. But like a lot of the comments had said, perhaps setting the record clear in the moment had been the right thing to do. My mother-in-law had been bringing up the encounter to him in passing repeatedly since then, and she was also emphasizing the way and place and time that I corrected her. She was not claiming to have recommended the name any longer. Yesterday, because my husband was having to deal with the bitterness of the situation, I had a call with my mother-in-law. She said she was in shock at the way I had gone about it, that it's not what she'd expected of me, how fond she was of my daughter, and that decisions like these are family decisions in spirit, doesn't matter the origin of the thought. I said I understand and deeply regretted the unpleasantness, but it was a name close to my heart since I was young and had read the books, so that's why this was different to me than any other decision, like the choice of stroller for instance. My mother-in-law brought up that I had sent her a link of how it was a very popular name back when I had told her about it the first time. I said that yes, but I'd done that after the fact, just to show it wasn't a completely out there name, and that I didn't even know what the result of the popularity of the name would be when I'd searched for it, but this name was from my heart. She said she understands and again reiterated how much she loves our daughter, and I thanked her and told her how much I appreciated it. I think I've handled the situation well. My husband too seems content after my call.